spoken word, and I wanted to share 2 poems that I wrote about like police brutality.
Yes.
And I don't know, just being black and like on Juneteenth to celebrate. Yeah. So this is a poem called "Fatalities on the Wall," and I'm gonna just get into it. A 17-year-old student was shot yesterday at Ingram High School. Lots of people are afraid of death, but not everyone thinks of dying in the same way. Not everyone gets to be black, have their life revolve around a perpetual cycle of pain. Everyone who's had the talk knows they're living on a tightrope by the by. We're all just living on borrowed time, trying not to let the Grim Reaper catch us. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm young, but I'm black and I'm fearful. I go to sleep tired, I wake up tired. I go to sleep, wake up again, same story, different day. Whack headlines, waste of authority, system failing us, system failing me. It's hard to hear anything over the screaming inside my chest. It's hard to tread water when your lungs are still recovering from the last shot to the head. It's hard not to sink deeper and deeper into the pit in your stomach, steadily filling with quicksand. Each life is intertwined like one big, beautiful tapestry. But each death, each fatality, each lethal gunshot at school sears the pain in our collective conscience. Okay.
Woo!
Yeah.
Come on now.
And then this other poem I have is called A Message to Power. I can paint a picture with my words the way you spill the streets with my people's blood. I can run, but I can't hide my unapologetic pride, my ever-present melanin, and I don't want to, but it's clear that you do. You refuse to see the blackness, and you're afraid, saying you see threatening. I see beauty. Does our resilience make you feel some type of way? Are you intimidated by our ancestors' rattling slave chains coursing through our veins, by the power of my tongue hitting the back of my teeth like whips cracking off in the distance, or the unity that runs in our blood? Do you hear Eric Garner forced to the sidewalk and suffocated to death by police in New York City? Do you hear unarmed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin fatally shot in Sanford, Florida? Hear blaring sirens as another black person is killed by a white police officer, but you only care because it came up on your television screen? Do you hear Rosa refusing to give a white passenger her 5th row bus seat in Alabama? Do you hear the thunderous echo of shoes marching from Selma to Montgomery in protest? Do you hear? Do you hear? Do you hear? Do you hear the dynamite sticks going off at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama? The Ku Klux Klan killing 4 innocent girls. For the longest time, you've smothered flames before they rose. Cared so much more about the smoke that you never saw the light. Cared so much more about the smoke that all you did was ignite, bringing a glint to the eyes of those harassed for far too long, ready to stand up and fight. Failed to see the light and ended up fanning the flames of a movement. You justify your actions by covering your eyes, look away from clenched fists and say they're weapons to keep people afraid, to control your narrative, to disregard the pain. When really, you tell yourself this because you've always been afraid of sparks becoming fire, rising to push through anything that may enter its path. So you put out the flames in the dark of the night and tried to extinguish the fire before there was a fight. Threatened by our pride, you tried to silence us into the crashing tide. But I was born by the river. When my ancestors jumped, stolen on slave ships, they took their own lives. They knew that what you were doing wasn't right and they were smart enough to run, keeping us at the back of the bus where you got more room to breathe. You've been comfortable for far too long. So it's time for you to finally see what you do and what you've done. Most importantly, what you can do to make a change. For every day you make someone a slave to oppression, racism, or hate. Your blind ignorance uplifted millions and voices found their way to the surface like air bubbles from a legion of people tired of holding their breath any longer, refusing to be silenced. War cries from a history of injustice. I can't trust the officers who are supposed to protect and serve. Protect us when I constantly learn that people that look like me, people of color, are killed in cold blood at the hands of the police upon mere suspicion of a threat or crime. Black girls like me, criminalized at alarming rates. Black girls are 4 times as likely to be placed on in-school suspension. As a black girl, you're often viewed as hypersexualized and adultified from a young age. As a black girl, you're 3 times more likely to be referred to juvenile court than white girls and 20% more likely to be detained. As a black girl, you're dress coded more frequently than your white peers. As a black girl, you're more likely to receive harsher penalties for the same infractions as white girls. The only thing history has taught me is to fear the police more than I already do. As a black girl, I am more likely to be suspended multiple times than any other race or gender, but I am more than a depressing statistic on your social media feed. I am human, and I should never be defined by the color of my skin. Born from queens and purple rain warriors, I am a goddess. I am royalty.